What most people see is the finished episode, the miracle on screen, the sweeping landscapes, the raw emotion. But behind every frame of The Chosen, there's a storm of effort, faith, and risk. Season 6 is no exception. In fact, the journey behind the cameras has been almost as dramatic as the story being told on screen. Creator Dallas Jenkins has been open about the pressure this season carries. Each interview feels like a window into his own wrestle with responsibility. He's not just directing a show, he's stewarding a story millions hold sacred. His updates reveal long nights, script rewrites, and the weight of making sure every line, every scene, feels both authentic and powerful. Jenkins has described Season 6 as one of the most soul-stretching projects of his life, because it's leading directly toward the most heartbreaking and transformative part of Jesus' journey. Production itself has been a massive undertaking. Filming locations continue to grow in scale, capturing deserts, villages, and bustling marketplaces with cinematic precision. The set pieces are bigger, but the heart of the show remains intimate. Behind the cameras, teams worked tirelessly to balance historical accuracy with cinematic impact, down to the stitching on garments and the dust on a Roman soldier's boots. Every detail is intentional, reminding us that authenticity is part of what makes this show resonate. But what makes The Chosen truly different is the way it's built. Not by studios throwing millions blindly, but by fans themselves. Crowdfunding and pay-it-forward campaigns continue to fuel the production. Each episode isn't just a product, it's a gift shaped by the devotion of viewers across the world. That unique model has become a story in itself, one that proves faith and storytelling can stand strong against the odds of Hollywood's rules. And let's not forget the actors and crew, who have shared glimpses from behind the scenes, laughing between takes, rehearsing under the scorching sun, carrying the weight of sacred stories on their shoulders. Their updates remind us that while the show feels larger than life, it's made by people pouring their hearts into every moment. Season 6, more than any before, feels like the result of thousands of hands and hearts working in unison. And knowing what lies ahead in the story, that unity behind the scenes feels almost prophetic, as if everyone involved knows they are preparing not just a season, but a moment that will echo far beyond the screen. If the trailer is a spark, Season 6 promises to be the wildfire. Every sign points to this being the most intense and emotional chapter yet. Not just because of what happens, but because of how it will be told. Up until now, The Chosen has been about discovery. The discovery of faith, of miracles, of a movement that turns the world upside down. But Season 6 feels different. It feels like the moment where the cost of that faith becomes painfully clear. One theme that echoes through every frame of the trailer is sacrifice. Jesus' teachings are sharper, his actions bolder, and the reaction to him more divided than ever. This is the season where lines will be drawn. Friends will stand firm or falter. Enemies will grow more ruthless. And the disciples will face the terrifying question: how far are they willing to go for the man they follow? Fans are already speculating that Season 6 will move us dangerously close to the events of Passion Week, the final days that define the Gospels. While the creators may not reveal everything in this season, the tone suggests we are approaching the edge of heartbreak. Expect to see relationships tested like never before. Peter's fiery devotion colliding with his human weakness, Mary Magdalene's faith standing against grief, and Judas quietly walking a path that will shatter the group forever. But amidst the tension, there will be light. Miracles are still coming. Moments of healing, of transformation, of hope breaking into darkness. These moments won't just be there to dazzle. They will remind us why people were willing to risk everything to follow him. And for viewers, these miracles won't feel like distant legends. They'll feel immediate, personal, as if happening in front of us. What makes Season 6 so powerful is its inevitability. We know where the story is heading. We know what's coming. And yet, the journey there will be filled with surprises, heartbreak, and moments of breathtaking beauty. Each episode will pull us deeper into a storm that can't be avoided. And through it, we'll see not just the cost of faith, but its unshakable power. This isn't just another season of television. It's the threshold of a story that has changed the world for 2,000 years. And by the time the final episode airs, fans won't just be watching history retold. They'll feel as though they have lived it. As the trailer fades to black, one truth remains impossible to ignore. The Chosen Season 6 is not just a continuation of a story. It's a confrontation with destiny. Every look, every line, every moment we've glimpsed is heavy with meaning. This season is about more than characters we've come to love. It's about the cost of walking with faith when the shadows grow darker. It is the bridge between hope and heartbreak, between miracles and the inevitable sacrifice. What makes this journey so profound is that we, as viewers, are walking it too. With every trailer frame, we're reminded that these weren't just stories written on ancient pages. They were lived by people who doubted, feared, and still believed. Season 6 invites us into that same tension, the struggle to hold on to light when the world seems ready to snuff it out. Behind the scenes, we've seen the dedication of cast and crew, the vision of Dallas Jenkins, and the unwavering support of fans who have carried this series to heights no one expected. On screen, we are about to witness a storm of faith, betrayal, courage, and love. Together, these forces create a season that doesn't just entertain, it transforms. And so the question isn't simply, when will Season 6 arrive? The real question is, are we ready? Ready to feel the weight of every choice, ready to witness every tear, and ready to walk the final steps toward a moment that changed the course of history forever. But remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. What did you see in the trailer that stood out to you? Which moments gave you chills? And which storylines do you think will finally come full circle? Share your theories, your hopes, and even your fears in the comments below. Because The Chosen has always been more than a show. It's a community, a global family bound by story and faith. If this breakdown gave you new insights or stirred your excitement, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more updates, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the latest news as Season 6 unfolds. The countdown has begun, and together, we'll walk every step until the moment the screen lights up with history brought to life once more. The wait is finally over. The trailer for The Chosen Season 6 has dropped, and it's packed with powerful moments that left fans stunned. Every frame feels loaded with meaning, from the subtle glances between characters to the breathtaking set pieces that hint at what's coming next. This is not just another season, it's a chapter that pushes the story closer to one of the most emotional and unforgettable. Before we dive into the trailer breakdown, let's pause for a moment and revisit where Season 5 left us. The Chosen has always been about building emotional connections, and the last season delivered some of the most heartfelt and intense episodes yet. It wasn't just about miracles, it was about the personal struggles of the disciples, the pressure growing around Jesus, and the way the crowd started to shift from curiosity to deep division. Season 5 gave us a stronger sense of what was at stake. The disciples had to face their doubts, their fears, and even their jealousy, all while following a leader who was clearly headed toward danger. One of the standout themes was loyalty, what it really means to stay faithful even when the road gets darker. We saw Peter wrestling with his role as a leader, torn between his passion and his flaws. Mary Magdalene continued to show us the strength of someone redeemed, but also the pain of being misunderstood by the world. And Matthew's growth as a follower was inspiring, showing how someone once outcast could find a family and purpose through faith. But the season wasn't only about the disciples. It also highlighted the rising tension with the religious leaders and the growing shadow of Rome. Crowds gathered wherever Jesus went, some desperate for healing, some drawn to his teachings, but others waiting to trap him. That constant pressure created an atmosphere where every word, every action, carried the weight of life and death. By the final episodes, it was clear Jesus' journey was moving toward a dangerous turning point. The miracles became bigger, the teachings sharper, and the opposition stronger. Fans could feel it. The story was building toward a breaking point. Season 5 ended not with resolution but with anticipation, setting up Season 6 to explore the next stage of his ministry in a way that feels both inspiring and heartbreaking. Table events in history. The trailer wastes no time pulling us into the heart of conflict. The very first shot lingers on a quiet landscape, dust rising under the sun, the sound of footsteps echoing as if to remind us that every step forward is leading closer to destiny. And then suddenly a glimpse of Jesus surrounded by his disciples. The camera doesn't just show them walking, it captures their faces, etched with worry, devotion, and the kind of tension that can only come when the weight of history is pressing down. What strikes you instantly is the mood. Season 6 feels darker, heavier, as if the calm before the storm is finally breaking. In one sequence, we see Jesus speaking to a crowd, his voice steady but his eyes carrying an unshakable seriousness. The people lean in, their faces a mixture of hope and resistance. You can almost feel the division, some desperate to believe, others preparing to accuse. It's a moment that screams of foreshadowing, the sense that every word he speaks could be the one that turns the tide. Then the trailer cuts sharply. Roman soldiers appear, their armor glinting under harsh light, their presence a silent threat. We hear the echo of orders being barked, a reminder that political power is tightening its grip. Against this backdrop, we see the disciples scattered across different scenes, Peter clutching his face in frustration, John looking skyward as if searching for strength, and Mary Magdalene standing alone, tears streaming, her faith tested more than ever. But the trailer doesn't stop at despair. It balances the storm with light. One of the most powerful moments flashes by. Jesus placing his hand on someone broken and lifting them to their feet. The miracle happens in silence, but the silence is deafening. It reminds us why people follow him even as danger grows. And then comes the shot that has set the internet ablaze. Jesus walking directly into a crowd of both believers and enemies, his expression unshaken, his mission unstoppable. Every cut, every frame feels deliberate. The lighting shifts between warm golden tones of hope and the cold gray shadows of opposition. The music swells not with triumph, but with a haunting sense of inevitability. By the time the trailer ends, you're left breathless, knowing that Season 6 is not just another chapter, but the turning point we've been waiting for. For months, fans have been refreshing feeds, scanning interviews, and holding their breath for one single answer. When will Season 6 arrive? The trailer gives us more than just glimpses of story. It carries the unspoken promise that the wait is almost over. The timeline isn't just about a calendar date. It feels like the countdown to a global event. The official release is set to roll out in phases, much like the seasons before it. Episodes will not be dropped all at once. This is a story that demands patience. The creators want every chapter to be experienced in real time, allowing fans to wrestle with the emotions, discuss the meanings, and return each week with fresh anticipation. This slow reveal has become part of The Chosen's identity, turning each episode into a shared moment across the world. And where will you be able to watch? The answer is everywhere. The Angel Studios app remains the heartbeat of distribution. Free to download, free to stream, fueled by the generosity of viewers themselves. But Season 6 will not be confined to a single platform. Just like the earlier seasons, fans can expect episodes to reach theaters for special premieres, allowing audiences to sit shoulder to shoulder, feeling every moment on the big screen. For many, this isn't just watching a show. It's worship in motion. What makes this release strategy unique is how it tears down the walls of traditional television. There's no gatekeeper, no network demanding subscriptions. The Chosen lives because of its community. Each episode you stream, each ticket you buy, is part of a movement that proves storytelling can be both massive and grassroots at the same time. And as the trailer hints, Season 6 might even expand its reach further, with international rollouts that ensure this story isn't limited by language or geography. So when we talk about the release date, we're not just talking about a number on the calendar. We're talking about a global gathering, millions of hearts tuning in, week after week, watching history retold with raw emotion. The clock is ticking, the stage is set, and Season 6 is on its way to screens and hearts everywhere. One of the reasons The Chosen has struck such a deep chord with audiences is its cast. These aren't just actors playing roles. They've become the faces and voices through which millions connect to timeless stories. Season 6 doesn't just continue their journeys. It tests them, stretches them, and in many ways, transforms them. At the center is Jonathan Roumie, once again stepping into the sandals of Jesus. Over the seasons, Roumie has brought a rare blend of humanity and divinity to the role. In Season 6, the trailer hints at a shift in his portrayal, less of the gentle teacher surrounded by curious crowds, and more of a man carrying the weight of destiny. His eyes say it all. Compassion remains, but there's an unmistakable gravity, as if he knows every miracle and every word is pulling him closer to a fateful crossroad. Then there are the disciples, each standing on the edge of their own trials. Shahar Isaac's Simon Peter, always passionate and flawed, now looks like a man torn between unshakable loyalty and unbearable fear. His performance has always been raw, but Season 6 suggests he'll be pushed to new emotional depths. Paris Patel's Matthew continues to evolve, no longer the isolated tax collector but a voice of quiet strength within the group. His arc has been one of the most inspiring transformations, and fans will be watching closely to see how he handles the rising tension. Lara Silva as Eden, Elizabeth Tabish as Mary Magdalene, and George Harrison Xanthus as John each bring layers of vulnerability and resilience. Mary, in particular, is shown in the trailer with a face of grief mixed with faith, a reminder that following Jesus does not erase pain, but gives it purpose. These performances anchor the show, making ancient figures feel real, flawed, and achingly human. Season 6 also teases the arrival of new faces, characters who will challenge the disciples, confront Jesus, or quietly alter the course of events. Each casting choice is deliberate, chosen not just to fill a role but to embody the weight of a moment in history. And behind the camera, Dallas Jenkins' vision ensures that every actor, whether leading or supporting, carries a spark that makes them unforgettable. This isn't just casting, it's calling. These actors don't just play parts. They carry the hopes of millions who see themselves in the struggles and triumphs of these characters. And in Season 6, those struggles will cut deeper than ever before.